Cause we all from them trenches, but we worthy. Just know we worthy. Yeah. Just know you worthy.
Okay, we're recording. Well, what up, though, y'all? It's your boy Josh vs. Juice, and I am back with another YouTube video. Like I said in the beginning of my videos, please do your boy a big favor and hit that subscribe button at the bottom. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can get my page monetized, so I can get the money in, so I can start giving y'all some better content in the future. Hit that like button. Go ahead and comment if you feel the need to, and turn on your post notifications, because if you do that, when I post, you'll be the first one to know. So, yeah. Also, a big thank you to everybody that watched my first actual YouTube video. Thank you for the people that hit my phone, my DMs, sending me encouraging words through these trying times of mine. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I really love it. Also, to the people that hit me up in my DM saying that the video inspired them because they've been scared to jump and actually start doing something that they've been thinking about the whole time. Look, y'all, I'm just like y'all. I was scared to do this for a long time. I actually just jumped. I finally did it. So you can do it too. You have the total ability to do it. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. So I appreciate y'all for the love on that video. So make sure you subscribe to your boy and actually start your own YouTube page. You know, go ahead and start doing what you want to do. We all out here trying to live life. We trying to activate our purpose and run towards greatness. So yeah, thank y'all. All right, y'all. So let's actually get into the video. Now, the point of me making this video was we about to have a little story time, because a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff about me. I'm not one to really post about me at all. You know what I'm saying? I kind of just make art and I just give it out, and then that's about it. Nobody really knows anything about me personally unless you know me personally. So the point of me making this YouTube channel was for people to actually be able to get to know more about me. And most people that know me, they ask, why did I start doing music? That's the topic of the video. Why did I start doing music? Because most people that know me, you know, I've been dancing most of my whole life. I've known how to dance my whole life, but I didn't start taking it serious until about high school. I was around like 14, 15. So I got introduced to the street scene of Detroit when I was about that age. So that's when I kind of started dancing. And once that started happening, I kind of hit the ground running with it because I started having so much fun. I started meeting so many people. We started doing so much stuff. It was like a whole new world for me. So that became my thing. Dancing is always going to be a thing for me. Like, don't ever get that twisted. Dancing will forever be a part of my life. I dance everywhere I go. Even though I don't really post many videos on it about it anymore, which I'm gonna start doing again. That's coming back. But there's been other things that's been introduced in other art forms that I've unlocked, or possibly I've had my whole life, that I honestly just started putting more time into. So that's the thing. Why did I start doing music? So it's kind of a long story. So that's why I decided to make a video about it, because I feel like most people don't know. It kind of became like a thing. It was random. I just dropped a song one day and then everybody was like, oh, you do music now. There was really no explanation behind it. So the reason why I started doing music. Okay, let's get into it. First, I want to say, music is not something that I just picked up as an adult. I've always did music. I've always sang. I've always rapped. It's always been a thing. So this is not like something that's completely random. I even have songs from when I was a kid. Like, I recorded 3 songs when I was a kid. I might have been talking about some stuff that I shouldn't have been talking about, but when I was a kid, I actually was rapping. Like, when we was at the tables at lunch, I was in the ciphers always. I always sang along the songs. I always used to walk around singing. A lot of people used to tell me, like, you got a real nice voice, but music was never something I considered myself doing. I never saw the vision until I got older. So me going through life as a teenager, you know, even in school, I was iconically known in school for walking around screaming the Trey songs, the dive in thing. Oh, I'm about to dive in. Like, I used to sing that all the time. Like, all the time. Like, that was something that I used to walk around the hallway screaming, and it was a funny thing. So it's not like I could never sing. It's not like I just woke up one day and was like, I'm a singer now. No, it wasn't that. Even back then, people would tell me that I should do it, and I just never wanted to do it. So as I got to college, I went to Full Sail University, which started off predominantly as a music school. It was a music school for people that did music. So me going into film, I always had friends that were in the the music side of things. Even one of my closest friends, I consider him my brother. He was in an he was in a music program. I was in a film program, and we lived in the same house. So, and most of my mutual friends that we had, they were in a music program. So it was always a studio somewhere. Somebody brought a studio over to the crib. They would set it up, you know what I'm saying? But people used to hear me singing all the time. I was known as the dancer at school, which is rightfully so, because I was always walking around dancing. Even when I was in film class, my teachers used to get mad at me. They're like, why are you here? Like, why are you here? You're always dancing. Go do that. You know what I'm saying? But I got a love for film, so I'm like, I'm here because of that. You can't say I'm not like one of the coldest in the class. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was one of the coldest in the classes, but my other art forms, they spill out just because I'm an expressive person. If I'm in the film class, it don't mean I ain't about to be in my class singing or rapping or dancing. That's just how I am. I told y'all I can't help it. I just spill out art. That's just what happens. But I was always around music kids, and a couple of my homies used to hear me singing, and they'd be like, bro, you sound kind of good. You know what I'm saying? You should come on to the stew. I got a stew at my house. Just come and try and record something. You know what I'm saying? I always used to be like, nope, not doing it. I don't want to make music. It's just not my thing. I don't do that. Like, no, I don't want to do that. So I kept that little facade up for so long. Like I carried it for so long until I graduated, and then I moved to Miami from Orlando. I went to college in Orlando, Full Sail University. After that, I moved to Miami with my brother, you know, and we hit the ground running. Around that time, it was a real hard time in life for me because I actually had a plan after college, and it kind of fell through. You know, I don't want to get into it. Maybe that'd be another story day for another time. It's just something that I don't want to talk about. But being that as it may, I was in a real hard position in life, and I was like, what am I about to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know. I'm out in Miami. I don't have a plan. I had one, didn't work. What am I about to do? And I always wrote raps. Like, that's something that I always used to do. I used to write raps when I was going through something. You know, I used to do that all the time. So I started playing some beats when I was in Miami, and I might put one of these clips right here so y'all can see. I used to drop freestyle videos all the time. I was just freestyling over like beats, and I was writing songs to get me through the times, like writing verses, whatever. And around that time, when I was seeing the love that I was getting on them, I was like, yo, kind of cool, you know, kind of felt kind of good. So I was like, you know, maybe it could be a thing. But on top of that, my brother, he had got a job at a really prestigious studio. So he was working at the studio while I was at home writing raps. And I'm living across the street from one of the biggest studios in the country. And I'm seeing Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, all of your favorite artists. I'm seeing them. I live right across the street from it. So that kind of put the battery in my back a little bit. It still didn't hit. I still wasn't like, yo, I'm going to do music. It still wasn't a thing. It was just something that I was doing as a hobby to pass the time, to express myself in a different type of way. You know what I'm saying? So around that time in Miami, I wasn't working. I was looking for a job desperately. And then I ended up getting a job at Zoomies. Zoomies gonna always have a special place in my heart because out of everything, I swear to y'all, I probably applied to every damn store in the mall. And Zoomies were the only people that called me back. Started working there. And most of the employees that would come in and out the stores, like some of them you connect with, some of them you don't. You know what I'm saying? And then some of the customers you connect with, some of you don't. You kind of have inspirational conversations with a lot of them, you know. And around that time, I was being super expressive. I don't know why. Like, at Zoomies, we used to get the aux cord. We could play whatever songs we want. And I'm an R&B head. So I used to play R&B on the radio all the time. So I would be walking around the store singing and rapping. And some of the customers would be like, yo, you hard. You know what I'm saying? You hard. That's crazy. Why you working here? Go to the studio. I used to hear that all the time. Like, you need to go to the studio. Get out the store. So I was working at Zoomies for about 4 years. Around there, 3.5, I would say. And after me getting that so many times, it really starts to like plant a seed in your head. Like, a lot of people keep saying this. Why don't I do it? You know what I'm saying? That thought is always in the back of your mind. It was way far back there, but the thought was there. So some years go by, and I was at work one day, and one of my homies, I consider him like a little brother for real. I've known this man since he was 15, 16 when he became a sales associate. So his name is Isaiah, and we connected on a different level when it comes to music because he's like a young dude, but he got an old soul. So he listens to like all that music from back then, and I'm like, oh, you got a nice taste in music. You know what I'm saying? So we used to connect on the musical level all the time. So I think he's like one of the first people that saw the talent in me, and also my manager, Matt. Like, that's my dog for life. Like, he gave me an opportunity to work at that store, and I appreciate him forever. And we actually became like friends, like outside of work. So he used to sing too. So we used to walk around the store singing all the time. We were one of the most lit Zoomies in the district, like hands down. Aventura Mall Zoomies, we was turned all the time. We was turned. I used to be in there dancing. You know, we were just entertaining. Like, we were entertaining people as they shop. So it was like real cool. It was a real cool spot to work at. I'm definitely proud that I was up in that store for so long, you know. Even though I kind of outgrew it, I knew it was going to happen eventually, but I didn't know how exactly. But with those people that I met along the way, it was like a thing. The seed was steadily being planted. It was steadily being planted. So one day, it kind of just clicked for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the seed kind of like started to sprout, because it was around a time where I was definitely in limbo. And this is like some years into me working here. This is around the ending of me being in Miami and actually moving to Atlanta. I was doing some work at iHeartRadio with my homie iRost. His name's Kevin, but his name's iRosta on Instagram. That's my dog for life. I appreciate you for everything, all the talks you've ever had, all the opportunities you've given me. That man was getting me money from the radio station for me just going up there and getting content. Like, shout out to Papa Keith, shout out to all of them. Like, they were real dope. You know what I'm saying? I really loved it. But around that time, I'm working at the radio station. I'm working at Zoomies. I'm shooting dance classes. I was just doing a whole bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because the film aspect, I had a film degree, but Miami's not really popping for film. Bad Boys probably shot there, but a lot of stuff don't really happen. So around this time, I'm getting real depressed, because I'm like, yo, me getting to Miami was like a hard time. I made it through that. Me and my brother, we made it through that, and we actually got on our feet, and we started to, like, you know, we got an apartment. We were all good, you know what I'm saying? But around that time, I was craving more. I was like, I need some more. My life has so much more substance to it, and I feel like Miami is not my thing. So I was around that point where I'm in limbo, like, and all of the doors started to open. Like, the signs were just presenting themselves, like, a lot. One example, shout out to this girl that I know that worked at the radio station. She was Papa Keith's assistant, I believe. Papa Keith is like one of the biggest radio names in Miami, like on the hip hop and R&B station. So it was a really good time knowing that man. I appreciate you for everything you did for me, Papa Keith. You my dog for life. She was his assistant, and when I first started coming to the radio station and doing work, you know, just being a fly on the wall, she would notice that I danced. She would notice that all the time. Like, she just like, yo, like, every time she saw me, she pulling out her phone, dance. And I'm just like, chill, you know what I'm saying? Chill, you know what I'm saying? So she just collected all of these videos of me dancing, you know, pranks at the radio station. And one day, she was at the mall, and she came into Zoomies, and she saw me in there, and she was like, yo, what are you doing here? And I was like, I work here. And she was like, this is one of those moments in my life where my heart dropped from here all the way down to my feet. It's kind of like she was like taken back by it. Like, she was like, and I'm looking at her like, what? She's like, I never thought that somebody like you would be working in a place like this. And mind y'all, around this time, I am like in limbo. I'm depressed. I'm like, yo, I need something more in my life. I was wanting more. And I instantly went from here to here. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. Like, I know it's a shocker to you that I work here, huh? She's like, yeah, like, she's like, I'm about to go to the food court, and when I get back, we gonna talk, because I'm about to get at you real quick, because somebody need to tell you this. And I'm just like, bet. And sure enough, she comes back, and she's just like, yo, like, I want to show you something. I was like, what you got to show me? She pulls out her phone, and she's like, look at this. And I see myself on the screen. I'm like, what? This is another dance video. You got a video of me dancing. You always used to record me. And she's like, no, I want you to look at yourself. Like, look. And I was just like, I started watching the video, and she's like, yo, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be doing something way bigger than this. Like, I am flabbergasted that you're even here. Like, you need to be in Atlanta or LA somewhere. Like, you need to be dancing behind somebody or doing something other than this. She's like, we got to get you out of here. And I'm like, man, I need to get out of here, like, for sure. Like, I kind of became vulnerable and I told her how I've been feeling. And it was like a sign from God. She was like a sign from God. Like, I needed that boot in the butt. Like, I needed it. Bow, just kick me. Like, to show me that what I've been feeling was actually real and that I actually needed to make a change. You know what I'm saying? So that conversation with her is one of the main reasons why I started doing music. Another instance, my dog Isaiah. Like I said, I've known him since he was a sales associate. And at this point, he's like 18, 19. So it's like, I've known him for a couple years. And we always had conversations about music. And he knew I could sing. He knew I could rap. And he's just like, what do you feel when you hear your favorite artist? Like, what do you feel when you hear Michael Jackson or Chris Brown or, you know, or J. Cole? Like, what do you feel? I'm like, man, I feel inspired. Like, J. Cole has gotten me through so much. Like, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Usher, like those type of artists, they've inspired me to like keep going and doing stuff. And he got me with one simple line. He was like, so you don't want people to feel that way about you when they hear you? And I just was like, dang, you got me with that one. You got me. Like, you got me. You really got me. So the seed sprouted even more with that. Another instance, one of my friends that I haven't talked to in a long time, she had called my phone randomly, and I'm closing the store at Zoomies. I'm closing up. I'm counting the money, you know what I'm saying, from what we made that day, about to go take the deposit to the bank, and she randomly calls me. And I'm like, what are you calling me for? What's up? We ain't talked in so long. Like, what's up? She was like, God told me to call you. And I was like, God told you to call me? For sure. Like, okay, cool. What did he tell you to say? She was like, he told me to ask you why you aren't in Atlanta. This is another one of those moments where I'm just like, bro, how do y'all know what's been on my mind? Like, how do y'all know this? Because I was supposed to be in Atlanta in the first place after I graduated college. But like I told her, I had a plan and it didn't go through. So I never ended up coming to Atlanta. I went to Miami instead. But she was like, why aren't you in Atlanta? Like, it seems like this is the place you need to be. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm not in Atlanta. I'm trying to figure that out now. And she was like, this is what you need to do. You need to get your butt to Atlanta and come out here and live the life that you're supposed to be living. And I'm like, okay, cool, bet. That conversation had more parts to it, but that was like the main point of it. You know, it was like pushing me into my destiny once again. I got 2 more instances, y'all. Another one. This is probably one of the biggest ones. So me working in Miami and me working at Zoomies, we were a pretty popular store. Celebrities used to come into the mall all the time. Like, you know, I used to see them all the time. I would help them shop. I would get them clothes for the new Jordans they just bought or whatever. And one day, I hope he remembers this when I get to where I need to go, because I'm definitely going to tell him that he's one of the main reasons why I started doing music. So, Swiss Beats, his family used to come into the mall all the time. His son, Note, I used to get him dripped out all the time. Shout out my boy, Note. I hope you see this one day, because you my dog. I used to get him drippy all the time. He used to spend money with me all the time. So, I guess the whole family was in the mall at one point. So, Swiss Beats walks into the store. And I'm like, whew, legend. Okay, cool, bet. So, he's on the phone the whole time. He's literally walking around with the phone on the shoulder, just talking, right? And I'm at the register. I made sure I rung boy out. So, I'm ringing him out. He's not even paying attention to me. He just getting his card out. Like, he's talking. And ironically enough, he was talking about something that had something to do with DMX. This is RIP DMX. This is when DMX was still alive. I think they were talking about his last album that he dropped. That Exodus. I'm pretty sure it's called Exodus. I'm pretty sure. Fact check me. If I'm wrong, let me know, y'all. In the comments, let me know. But as I'm ringing him out, he's not paying attention. He's on the phone talking. And he's getting his card out. And I put on a song. I changed the song on the aux cord. And then as I'm ringing him up, I'm just singing along. I'm just singing to a song. And I caught his attention, I guess, because he like literally took his head off his phone and he started staring at me. And I was like, what's up? Like, what up? And he's like, so that's how you coming? I was like, what you mean, bro? I'm just singing along to the song. You know, I'm just playing the humble card. I'm like, what you mean? I'm just singing along. And he's like, so that's how you sound that good, huh? I was like, I guess so, you know what I'm saying? And he literally took the phone off his chest and he was like, you need to get up out this store and you need to go to a studio. And he started talking on the phone again. And I'm just sitting there like, how do y'all know what I've been thinking? How do y'all know this? Like, what? How do y'all know? So that really put the battery in my back. Like, I'm like, yo, I need to start doing music. If Swiss Beats said I can do it, I can do it. If a legend like this told me that I should go to a studio, I need to go to the studio. Now, mind y'all, like I told y'all in the beginning, my brother, my close friend, he's working at one of the best studios ever. Actually, two of the best studios ever. He's working at them. And it just made perfect sense. Now, the last instance of what really made me decide, the day I actually decided to start doing music, me and my brother, we at the crib, you know what I'm saying? You know how when you chilling with your homies, y'all got some drinks, you know, y'all got some smoke, you know what I'm saying? And y'all just vibing, talking about life. I guess we were both super drunk this day because it just got mad inspirational out of nowhere. And he started telling me how he wanted to have an artist that he wanted to work with closely, and he can grow that artist because he's been working with like the best people, you know what I'm saying? He's just like, bro, if I can find somebody that I can build up and I can actually work hand in hand with, bro, I would be just so happy. And he was like, bro, I really feel like you could be that dude. He was like, I really feel like you could be that guy. He was like, bro, because you got it. Like, you can do it. Like, I really feel like, he was like, your stuff will be better than mostly everybody I've come in contact with. He was like, you got the potential to do that. He was like, all you got to do is tell me that you want to do it, and I will do everything in my power to help you out. And I'm drunk, y'all. I'm like, and mind you, all of these things have been happening. I'm trying to make a change, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it was like the snowball effect. The snowball is huge at this point. Like, I'm like, I just remember I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, nah, bro, look me in my eye and tell me that you're gonna do it. And if you look me in my eye and tell me that you're gonna do it, you can't turn back. And I'm not gonna lie, it was all alcohol that made me say yes. I'm like, I looked him dead in his eye and was like, I want to do it. Let's go. Let's go. And as soon as I said it, my heart dropped. Because I'm like, what did I just agree to? Because the relationship that me and him had, when we agree to something and we go for it, we go for it. It ain't no turning back. So I'm like, what did I just agree to? And the moment I said that, boy was like, all right, so this is what we about to do. Every day, I want you to write 3 hooks. And mind you, we barely saw each other because we both were working so much. He's at the studio, I'm working at the mall. You know, when we come together, you know, it's a rare occasion. So he's like, every day, I need you to write 3 hooks. We got to get your pen up. Like, you already know how to write, but learn how to write a hook. So I'm just like, all right, bet. This is what we about to do. This is what we doing. And in my mind, I'm like, I know I said that because I'm drunk, so I'm going to wait until I wake up and I'm sober and see how I feel. So the next day, I woke up, I sat up in my bed, and I was like, I'm glad I said yes. So every day, I start writing hooks. Every day, I start writing hooks. When I tell y'all, I was writing every day. I put so much time into me learning how to write. I was so trash at it. And literally, we would do this thing where I'm pretty sure most artists do this, but I would get a beat playing on my iPad, have my phone on voice recorder. I had a beat playing, and I'll rap the hook over and over until I got it right. And then when we actually came back together, we would play what we had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll play him the hooks that I got, you know, because we were just preparing. We were just preparing for what we did not know. We did not know what was going on. So this is when everything changed. The pandemic hit. Boom, COVID. Everybody's freaking out. Everything's closing down. Nobody's working. You know what I'm saying? I was still working at Zoomies, but we had this thing where the mall was closed, but we were in store filling out online orders, because Zoomies don't have factories. Our stores are the factories. So if you order a shirt from Zoomies online, somebody at the store got to go fulfill that and send it to you. So that's what we were doing. So we had a lot of downtime. And one day, I got like 100 hooks wrote at this point, like a lot. I agreed to start doing music November 22nd of 2019. The pandemic hit in March. So about 4 months later, I had 4 months worth of hooks. So I get a call one day, and my homie was like, yo, you trying to slide to the stew? Nobody's here. It's all closed, and I sleep in here, so I'm always here. So you trying to come through so we can record? I was like, bro, what? Let's get it. Pull up to the studio, and we start recording. I was so nervous, man. I was in the studio sweating. I didn't know what I was doing, because there's a such thing as studio etiquette. Like, you really gotta, like, it ain't just walking in front of the mic and saying stuff. Some people can do that, some people, but you gotta have a demeanor about you in the studio. You gotta be in artist mode for sure. And I just got to the point where I was developing that. So I'm like, you know, we start recording throughout the pandemic. We start recording. Next thing you know, we getting a lot done. You know, there was a lot being done. So it got to the point where we start getting some full songs, because I would record my hooks and we would sleep there, bro, like 5-6 days. You know what I'm saying? So I started recording hooks, and then like, okay, we would see which ones we liked, how they sound on wax, because songs don't sound the same on the mic when you record in the studio as on your phone. Like, you might think it's gonna sound a certain way, and it might not end up sounding that way. So we start hearing them, we listen back, and if we like one, he'd be like, all right, cool, go write a verse. Like, go write 2 verses to this, or go write a verse. And I would write some verses to him, and then we start getting some songs. We just like, yo, this is kind of hard. And he looked up at me and he was like, bro, I'm gonna be totally honest. He was like, out of this short amount of time that you've been recording, you kind of grew mad fast, like faster than most people that I've seen and I've been in the studio with. Like, you kind of getting the hang of this like real quick. So I'm like, this is sounding dope, you know? Even though back then, now when I listen back to those songs that we recorded, I'm like, oof, because I got better. But, you know, it was a thing. So at this point, I'm like full time, like, yo, I can really do this. You know what I'm saying? I can really do this. So at that point, I'm like, I'm an artist now. I do music, which is crazy. And later on in this period, like during COVID, I was making plans to get out of Miami. Like, I'm like, okay, I want to move to Atlanta. I want to go and actually pursue music in Atlanta. I actually want to use my degree. I want to use my film degree to actually start working on some movie sets or whatnot. So that was the plan. I actually found a way to get some money throughout the pandemic. I moved to Atlanta. And during that last week or two of me before I moved, I recorded some of those first songs that y'all hear. And I recorded What Up Though. I recorded Sea Legs. I recorded Worthy. I recorded Deeper Than Rap. No, actually, I recorded Deeper Than Rap when I was in Atlanta, so let me not lie. But Mental, which is that's one of the 2 songs that people really like by me a lot. Mental and What Up Though. What Up Though is my first song. So we got What Up Though, Sea Legs, Worthy, Mental Acoustic, and Deeper Than Rap. So all of those songs we were recording before I left for Miami. Mental was actually one of the literally before I drove to Atlanta, that was the last song I recorded, because we started making plans on how I was about to drop at that point. Because I'm like, okay, I got so many songs, which ones are we gonna choose? You know what I'm saying? Then we gonna figure out a way to drop it when I get to Atlanta. So I know throughout this time, I was writing a lot of rap songs. I was writing straight R&B songs. And my brother, he looked at me one day and was like, yo, I like what we got so far, but I think you need a song for the girls. Like, I think you need something that's gonna be like women uplifting. And these are my last days in Miami. So I just started writing. You know, I wrote a hook. I wrote the hook for Mental. And I got to the studio and I recorded the hook. And he was like, yo, this is the first time I've ever seen him. He's so hard to impress when it comes to music. He's like a stickler. I seen him for the first time stand up. And he was bobbing his head as he was listening. And he was like, yo. He looked at me through the glass in the booth and he was like, he pressed the button so I could hear him. He was like, yo, I think we got something with this one. And I was just like, did I just impress you? Oh, yo, shit. Okay, we doing something right. And I was feeling the vibes too. So I'm like, yo, let me go ahead and write these verses. Wrote the verses. I recorded Mental. And then I moved to Atlanta. We started planning on how I was going to drop. And I told him, I'm like, I want to drop on my birthday. I dropped on my birthday in 2021. I moved to Atlanta in July. That was like kind of a couple months during the pandemic. I moved to Atlanta in July. So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So 8 months. I didn't drop until 8 months because, you know, we had to get the songs mixed. We had to work on the business. I had to start an LLC. I had to get distribution, DistroKid, all that. I had to set all that stuff up. Mind you, and then I was working security on film sets before I actually started working on sets. So this is around the time I'm building myself in Atlanta while planning on how I'm about to drop music. And around this time, bro, nobody knew that I was about to do this. Nobody. We kept it under wraps for so long. We kept it under wraps. And I was like, yo, I want to drop on my birthday. I think it was my 26th birthday when I dropped, or 25th. It was my 25th birthday when I dropped my first song. So March comes around and we shot a whole short film to introduce my first song, What Up Though, I told my camera dude, I was like, yo, I want to actually go back home and film my first video. It's a rap song, so I'm like, I want to go back home and actually film this so I can show people where I'm from and what made me what I am. So, and What Up Though is like a Detroit song, which everybody loves. Like, everybody loves that song back home and here. Like, the video was fire. We came up with a whole concept, a short film to actually lead up into the video, because I was dropping these short film clips and nobody knew what they were for, but they all led up to the music. So when I dropped my What Up Though on March 25th of 2021, and ironically enough, that's the day I got the call from one of my managers now to actually come to work on set from security. So that was a great day. I got invited to actually work on set, and I dropped my first song. So it was kind of crazy. Like, the journey has been crazy. It's been a crazy thing. So after What Up Though, I dropped 5 more songs after that, because people don't really realize, man, doing music is hard. Like, it's not an easy thing, you know? Before I came down to Atlanta and I met my producers and my homie, my brother, Yare and Zona, like the people that produce my music primarily now, I was going on YouTube. Like, I was buying beats from YouTube with money that I didn't have. Like, those beats be expensive. Like, we was doing a lot. That's why it took me 8 months to drop, because we got to buy these beats. We got to do contracts for the beats. We got to, you know, set up the music videos, shoot the music videos, edit. Like, it was a lot that was going on. So that's kind of why people be asking me, they're like, why don't you drop often? I'm like, bro, I'm trying to do this the right way. Like, it's not easy to drop music. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard. So, you know, here we are now. Like, I've dropped a project with my dog Yare, produced totally by him. You know, we both wrote on it, and it's called Detralana. I'll put the picture up right here. But yeah, man, at this current point, man, I'm just trying to actually evolve as an artist and actually bring people more into the brand of who I am. You know, that's why I'm doing these YouTube videos. I want people to know the story behind why I do what I do. Because in my honest opinion, I feel like a lot of people ain't connected with my music like that. A lot of people don't even know that I do music. So I'm trying to do everything that I can to get y'all, to bring y'all into my world. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we doing at this point. But just to let y'all know, I got a whole bunch more new music. Like, I got a whole bunch, and we working out the kinks of that also. But when I'm telling y'all right now, the next time I drop, we not stopping at all. Y'all gonna get sick of me. I'm just letting y'all know. And the music is sounding fire. It's sounding fire. Fire. Just letting y'all know. Just letting y'all know. But with that being said, I'm happy that I'm at this point in my life. I'm happy that I actually decided to start doing music. It was something that was always like ingrained in me, but I never accepted it. It was showing itself to me my whole life. Like, I was blessed with a voice. I was blessed with writing abilities. I was blessed with rapping abilities. So it's just something that I've always run from, because I felt like I wasn't good enough to actually be a big artist, you know? I felt like I couldn't do it for some odd reason. So now that I got my confidence up, I'm actually out here doing it. And one thing that I realized about stuff that you want to do and you never do it because you're scared, once you start, it's always like a why didn't I do this before type thing. I'm telling y'all, if you want to do something, if you got an idea in your mind, all you got to do is start. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to. Just start. Because how do you know what the journey takes if you never take the first step? Like, you got to start. Like, you have to start. Once I started doing music, everything was like, wow. It's like a whole new world opened up. When I made my first YouTube video, this whole new world just opened up. It's like, just go for it, bro. You don't got nothing to lose. I'm telling you right now, you don't got nothing to lose. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what nobody says. It doesn't matter what you think people are going to think of you. 9 times out of 10, people aren't thinking of you. They're thinking of themselves. Most people are so encased in their own world that the attention that they give you is a very minute part of their day. If somebody gonna hate on you, they're not gonna be on your page all day hating on you. Some people don't got no lives and they do that, but everybody's really thinking about themselves, y'all. So do what you want to do. If I can leave you with some inspiration. But that's kind of the story on how I started doing music. Like, it's been a long ride. It'll be funny. It's funny to think that 2 years have already passed. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny, but we trying to take it to a bigger level. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I'm all about. I'm trying to elevate. Every time I do something, I'm trying to elevate. So with that, music has just become another skill that I add to my overall artistry. And also, it makes sense for me, you know? I'm good with visuals. I went to film school. I know about cameras. I dance. I got good sense of style. You know what I'm saying? Kind of handsome. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, it all revolves around it. That's something somebody also told me. They was like, yo, like, being an artist would be kind of perfect for you. You're good with the videos. You got style. You got the look. You know what I'm saying? It kind of makes sense. Like, if you were to just... Artistry can be the nucleus of all your other talents. Like, you know, if that makes sense. And it made sense to me. So I'm like, maybe my purpose is to inspire people through music, but also the music can showcase my dancing abilities, my visual aspect of everything, the style. Like, it can all be one thing. And that's really what I'm trying to push now. That's what I'm trying to do with the YouTube thing. I'm trying to just bring y'all into that world. So every day we growing, man. Every day we growing. That's really what I want to do. So yeah, here we are. And hopefully, if you tagging along for this journey for right now, if you starting with me right now, you starting at a good point, because we about to soar with it, y'all. We about to go crazy. So I really hope y'all stay tuned in and locked in on my journey, so you can watch me grow, and maybe, you know, you can see me become that guy. If God willing, I can become that guy that I'm always meant to be. You know, that's really my goal, and I can inspire you to do the same, because that's really all I care about. With every song I write, with every dance I do, with every outfit I put on, I want people to know that you can be yourself authentically. You can do it. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody got the same 24 hours, and we all got the ability to live out our dreams and activate our purpose. So if I'm gonna leave y'all with that, I hope y'all enjoyed this story time with me. I hope I ain't make it too long, but I appreciate y'all for staying if y'all did. And it's your boy Josh versus Juice. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Out this thing. Also, y'all, before I get on up out of here, for my next video, I want to do a question and answer video. I've been posting polls on Instagram and Facebook for people to drop down questions that they want me to answer so they can get to know me better. And I want to get to know y'all better. I want to interact with y'all down in the comment section, and maybe we can talk. You know, we can have some inspirational talks. So DM your boy some questions. Put some questions down in the comment box that you think that you want me to answer, so you can get to know me better. So, you know, because we friends now. We cool. Real bad. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, ask away, man. Ask anything. Just don't ask me nothing crazy, because I might expose you. But just don't ask me nothing crazy. So go ahead, comment down in the bottom, or DM me on Facebook or Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to post my Instagram and my Facebook down in the link in the bio. So, or on Threads, any social media. Just ask me some questions so I can answer them for y'all, so we can be cooler than what we are right now. So, like I said, y'all, tap in. I appreciate y'all. We out for real.
Cause we all from them trenches, but we worthy. Just know we worthy. Yeah, just know you worthy. You can do anything if you know that you deserve it. Tell them that we worthy. Just know we worthy. We can do everything if we know that we deserve it. You feel me? Put your hands up, y'all. The system, it tried to change us, knowing that we so dangerous. Feel me? Spark your flame up.